Guess what day it is? It's Star Wars Review Day!
Brought to you by Skites.com, your happy place.
Hello, children. I'm very careful about making this video because I don't want to spoil it for anybody. So this one's going to be spoiler free, and this is just going to be a very general review of Star Wars because nobody wants spoilers, and a lot of people aren't going to be able to see it opening weekend just because of the way ticket sales are going. And I know a lot of people too, like Aaron, are waiting to see it on Christmas. So for that reason alone, I'm very careful about this review. But this is a Star Wars review because I've already seen it. The Force Awakens, this is 30 years after Return of the Jedi, and in this one, Han Solo, he has to defend the Empire all over again, but this time from Kylo Ren. I think that was the main thing that concerned me was, is Kylo Ren enough that you're not going to miss Darth Vader? And honestly, you don't. There's enough nostalgia in this film. There's enough storyline with Han Solo and Princess Leia where you don't necessarily miss him. And then Kylo Ren too is that injection of something new, because you don't want a complete retelling. You want old mixed with the new. Another big thing with Star Wars is, and this right here is what makes the movie so great. You want old school Star Wars, but you want 21st century CGI, and that is finally what you get in this movie. I feel like with the other ones, with Attack of the Clones, it's like the CGI was pretty good, but then the story was so meh. You didn't feel like you were in the Star Wars universe at all with that movie. I didn't. I kind of felt like that whole thing could have been rewritten because it just was so tempered. The other thing with Kylo Ren is, like, the best villains are the ones, to me the best villain of all time is the Joker. And the reason why the Joker is so damn good, and I measure all villains against him, but the reason why he's so good is because he's ambitious, and he's just got this thought process that's very meticulous. And it's the same thing with Kylo Ren. He's ambitious, but he's got this thought process that you want to get into. Like, as a kid, I was obsessed with Joker because I just wanted to get into his head. And you'll feel that way a little bit with Kylo Ren, because you'll feel like, God damn, I just want to be in his head for 5 minutes, and that's what a good villain does. It draws you in, but you want to be in his head.
So let's talk about Rey.
A big part of this film, and that's my one criticism with it. I think there's a part of the story that she's in, some of the writing almost felt a little like it veered a little way. It felt a little off some parts. I think it's like the third act. I'm not gonna tell you what because I don't want to spoil it, but that was one of my big criticisms was, and with her character, you're either gonna love her or hate her because she's such a big part of this movie. She's a new, I haven't seen her before, so she's a newer actress I think it's good that you put a newer actress in this film, because then you're not tied to, oh, that girl from, or, that actor from X. I think now she will be known as from Star Wars. And her acting is flawless, she's great. It's just some of the writing kind of took her in a place that I was kind of like, it kind of just didn't make sense. It just didn't make sense. Who steals the show in this movie? I'm gonna give it to Han Solo. Yeah, I gotta tell you, for me, this movie, it's Han Solo and I think Finn. I think Han Solo, first and foremost, he pretty much steals the show. There's, the humor with Chewbacca, and I think just the tie-in with bringing him back, and just, this nostalgia you're gonna feel with him. I think anytime there's a scene with him in it, you're automatically drawn back to old school Star Wars. I think the scenes with Solo and Princess Leia really do just make the movie. They just make the movie. Finn's character, I would say second to Han Solo, Finn's character and his storyline were it. He elevated the movie to a place where I was expecting it from Ren, but I gotta say it was Finn that stole it. Maybe it's because too, like, his storyline is just so well written, and then with his acting, he just took it to another place. And he was really the one that I was just like surprised by it. I was like, wow. I really thought it was going to be Ren, but no, it was Finn. Now remember, this is Star Wars, so in Star Wars, the pacing is this one is fast. And I want to say, much like the old school Star Wars, this one, the pacing is slightly faster, and you're almost going to get to a point where you're just like blinking, you might miss it. So keep that in mind. From a physics standpoint, BB-8 doesn't work because it's a ball that rolls. So like the physicist in me was just like, that, he doesn't work. As a droid ball in the movie, he works. He's cute, but he's not cute to the point where he's teddy bear cute. And he's functional. And he provides like a good bit of help in this movie. So him, I was fine with. Chewbacca, oh, Chewbacca's in it. Yeah, Chewbacca and Han Solo, you know, that they're tag teaming, and that humor they're gonna bring in. Like I said, I do think that's what really makes this movie. I don't know if it's because it's a tie back to old school Star Wars, or if the humor is just like that break you needed from all of the action going on, but it's nice. It's nice to have that, like your brain compute that and then go back into fighting. You can tell with this movie, I think it might have been written somewhere, but you can tell that J.J. Abrams' favorite Star Wars movie is A New Hope. And you can tell that just because of some of the throwbacks and some of the flashbacks you get from this movie. I was fine with it because I really don't think that movie gets enough credit from the score to the story. I just think it's overlooked, and I think everybody wants to go to, you know, the very heavy, you know, Empire Strikes Back, The Return of the Jedi, but there's something just beautiful about A New Hope that doesn't get the recognition it deserves. But in this movie, I feel like it finally gets it. So who is going to see this movie, everybody? Have you seen ticket sales? Everybody. Everyone's going to see this movie, and I don't think you'll be disappointed, except the first time I saw The Empire Strikes Back, I was a very little girl, and I saw it on VHS, and it's the same thing that's going to happen to you guys with this movie. When you see that movie, you're left with the sense of, what next? I want more. What? And the problem is, especially now, we live in a day and age where you want, you know, it's what is it, the binge culture. You want the next story right away. And, you know, these kids that are growing up with Star Wars now, they can go back and watch the 6 movies and in order, which I kind of don't recommend, but you can. But with this one, you're going to be left with that whole feeling of what's next, or, you know, what happens next, or, you know, where are we? And it is a cliffhanger, and it's a big cliffhanger, and I feel like that's the one. I think it's perfect because I love movies like that. I like it when they leave you wanting more. It's kind of like Homeland. Every season of Homeland, you're just like, no, you know, and you want more. And that's what this movie does. The problem is, what are we gonna have to wait? 2, 3 years for the next episode? So I think that's the part where you're kind of gonna get pissed off. It's kind of like Lord of the Rings, where you're just like, God damn it, what with the first one? I remember leaving the theater and everybody was just like, no. I mean, there were people cursing. I was one of them. Even though I had read the books, I was just like, God damn it. But it's the same thing with this. You're gonna have that feeling of, oh, God damn it. And it's a good thing, but it's a bad thing because it's gonna be like, what, 3 years before the next movie? So I think that's gonna be the biggest disappointment in this movie. You're not going to get it all, and you're gonna have to wait for more. So yeah, on a scale of 1 to 5, what do I give this? Goddamn, you know what? To me, it's a 5. It's a 5. It's 5 Duffies. It's 5 because it did everything I wanted it to do. It gave me old school Star Wars. It gave me that old school storyline, just like in Creed. It was a nice throwback. It was old school. And then too, it had the great CGI, which didn't overplay in the movie. It wasn't like, oh, it's too much. It was good amount. It's Star Wars. You need good CGI, and you need 2016 CGI, which is amazing. And you got all of that from this movie. So I was fine with it. It's a 5 movie. The worst part is you're gonna be left with a cliffhanger, and you're just gonna be like, oh God, that's your biggest downfall. All right, you guys, that's it. I can't wait till you guys see it, and I want to know what you think when you see it. And don't forget, I have the giveaway too that's coming up. So let me know. Let me know when you see it. Let me know what you expect from this movie. Let me know what review you would give it just based off your expectations. But it's definitely something you're gonna want to see. I just think people are gonna have to see it more than once just because of that cliffhanger. All right, you guys, that's it for me. To quote the greatest show on earth, live long and prosper. I'll tell you guys there. Bye. Poke, poke.